Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl UrbanSy, aka Sy, aka Body Gal, and I'm back with another video. Yes, the time has come where I finally decide to record something. Now today's video is for the girls. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get a cute, natural, like soft girl, soft glam looking makeup that will fool everyone into thinking like that's just how you woke up out of bed. Like, you know what I mean? So the reason why I decided to go natural with this tutorial is because I've noticed something very common in this new day and age, in this new era. If you are trying to appeal to a certain somebody, you know, of the opposite sex, guys really like natural makeup. If you have a certain guy that you're trying to, you know, impress, maybe you're going on a date, maybe, I don't know, you're just trying to switch up your makeup routine, just look a little bit more put together, a little bit more polished. Although we don't need makeup, because what are we? We're natural baddies. What are we? We're confident. Babes, wearing makeup is optional. You know, when you're signing up for something and you fill out all the criteria and it says optional, that's what makeup is for us, okay? Because what are we? We're beautiful with and without makeup, period. Let's get started, shall we? But the first and the very most important thing for your makeup is your primer. Now, if you don't have a primer, your makeup is not gonna be as good. It's gonna be cakey. You're gonna be wondering why is underneath my eyes looking like flaky and creasy. It's because you don't have a primer. And I experienced that for years, wondering why does my under eyes look like that. Now, of course, before your primer, you're gonna wanna moisturize your face. Also, wash your face before you start doing your makeup to make sure you have a clean slate. This is the one that I use. You guys see my skin. I have very clear skin. This definitely plays a huge role in that. This is the Clean and Clear Essentials Dual Action Moisturizer, and it has salicylic acid and acne treatment in there. It's also oil free. When I'm using this on my face, it's actively fighting and preventing those bumps to come up on your face because of the salicylic acid in there. The clearer your skin and the nicer your skin is, the nicer that your makeup is gonna apply, period. If your skin is not the clearest, then don't worry about that, okay? But start to incorporate this into your routine. It works for me. So anyway, so now I'm gonna go in with my primer. This has changed my makeup game completely. This is affordable. I'm gonna put the price up on the screen for this. If you don't have this, get it. That's all I have to say. And if you have never used a primer and you start using a primer, you're gonna see a huge difference in your makeup. For this specific primer, you apply it to your face and then you don't rub this one in, you pat this all over your face. Make sure that you get your under eye because that's very important. Blend your primer under your under eye very nicely because that's where it creases up the most when I don't have primer on. We are done, and now you're gonna want to let this dry and absorb into your skin for 30 seconds. So the next thing that I use is Halo Glow Liquid Filter by e.l.f. It is a glow booster and it is to give you radiant skin. This is especially for if you already have clear skin, like basically clear skin, because this is going to be a very light coverage. So if you already kind of have clear skin, this is going to be really good for you. And it's just going to give you light coverage. It's not going to give you that full matte, full face, like full coverage type of look. It's just going to give you like that natural, youthful, young look, which is what we love. This one's actually too dark for my skin, so what I do is I apply it. I have to mix it with something else. Honestly, if you just get your color, it will be a lot easier for you. This is in the shade 6, which is the tan deep color, but I'm gonna blend this in without adding the other product just so you guys can see what kind of coverage this gives on its own. I'm using this Ultimate Blend brush by e.l.f. and honestly, you guys, I want to get like a foundation brush. This one is okay though, it does the job for me. So when you're applying foundation or any base, you're gonna want to really avoid going underneath your eyes. That's where we're gonna put the concealer. And when you have too many products under your eye, it just leads to complications. So just avoid going in like that area with your concealer. You can, but like it's just better if you don't. So you guys see, like, it's kind of dark. So I'm gonna take this lighter concealer and I'm gonna just put it on top just to lighten. And this concealer is like not a high coverage, so it's not gonna make my makeup look like a full face, full coverage look. Okay, so now that you have your foundation blended, you're gonna want to place your concealer. So this is the one that I'm currently using. It is the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer. It doesn't actually have a shade on it. It doesn't actually say what shade it is. It actually has it on the actual label, but I don't actually know what shade this is. You could see where I'm placing it. So you're gonna want to place it on this inner part of your eye and then on the end of your eye. And when you do it on this angle, that's gonna just lift and snatch your face. So placement is really important. You don't just want to slap the concealer on your face. Like, you want to know where you're putting it. Then I do my chin. I don't usually do my forehead, but I'll do it for the sake of this video. I'm gonna use this brush. I don't even know what brush this is, to be honest. And up here. So you want to not blend out your under eyes yet, because you want to kind of let your under eyes dry down a little bit, and that's going to give you like a little bit more coverage. Now to snatchify your face a little bit, do this lightly because we're trying to keep things as natural as possible, but you're going to put a little bit of concealer on your jaw like this, and this is going to like give you that effect. It's just going to sculpt your jaw a little bit, but I keep it this very subtle. This is really optional. You don't really have to do this. I'm gonna blend out my under eye now. When you're blending out your under eye, you want to do this very gently, just to avoid any creasing and just to keep everything nice and blended out. So the thing that I love about this concealer is that it's very light coverage. Every time I wear this, I always get compliments like, your makeup is like, it's giving skin, like it's giving you real skin. And I'm just like, yeah, thank you. But I often wear this concealer without any foundation. Someday in the future, I'll do like a no foundation makeup tutorial if you guys would like that. I'm gonna take this Fit Me concealer in the shade Honey. Now this one is like lighter than my skin. I'm just gonna do a tiny dab of this on my inner corners, and this is just gonna help to brighten up my inner corners. So this is where you would go in with your lighter concealer and apply the tiniest amount. Especially if it's full coverage, you're gonna want to apply less than this. Let it dry and tap it out lightly. When I tap this out, I like to keep it in my inner corner area like this. Okay, as you can see, everything is still giving skin. Everything is cute, but now we're gonna sculpt our face a little bit and add a little bit of dimension. I have a few products that I like to use for this. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. If you're like my skin tone or darker, you're gonna want to get like probably the darkest shade that they have, because if you get a light shade thinking it's gonna work for you, it's not gonna work for you. I'm gonna use this brush and just dip into this and test it. See here, I kind of am heavy-handed with it. There's a specific area that I like to put it on. So you're gonna find your natural cheekbone. Mine is right here, and you're gonna want to like, so I'm lining underneath my actual natural cheekbone, and then I'm kind of creating like a triangle. So I'm coming down a little bit, and then I'm coming like that. See how you can already see how that like sculpted my face? And I'll do the same thing on this side. I line my natural cheekbone underneath it, go down and down. Now for your nose, this is where you can play around with your nose. I like to contour my nose. You don't necessarily have to contour your nose. So a good brush would be something like this. That's like flat. And I'm gonna go into my bronzer and I'm going to just go along the sides of my nose like this. Naturally, I already have shadows, so I'm just gonna go on my natural sides of my nose. If you want to make your nose smaller, the smaller you want your nose to look is the closer together that you'll put these lines. But I'm gonna kind of keep it on my natural sides. And you're gonna want it to go up into your brow bone like that and like that. And then I'm following the natural divot of my nose, how it like comes right here. I'm gonna follow that. I don't know if you can see, so I put it here on both sides on this natural divot and then on the bottom like that. And then you want to just blend that in. To help you blend, you can grab a fluffy brush. Now for the two sides of my face, I'm gonna blend out that contour. Okay, so that's pretty much it when it comes to contour. Now I like to bronze. It's the L'Oreal Infinite 24-Hour Foundation number 355. It is a powder foundation, but I don't know why it's so good. I don't apply my bronzer where I put the contour. I kind of put it on my actual cheekbone itself. Like, if you guys could see, like, kind of put it like here on the actual bone right here. And then I lightly put some on my nose as well. Now I'm gonna set my under eyes. So this is the setting powder that I use. It's the One Size setting powder. Highly recommend it. It's very good. It hasn't done me dirty. But if you think that this setting powder is gonna do you any justice without you using a primer, you're making a sad mistake. Which is why I said you have to have a primer. And it's not a choice. I usually use my powder puff, but I'm gonna use my beauty blender just to show you guys. You don't have to go out and buy a powder puff if you don't have one, because I know some people don't. I dip into it, then I do this on the back of my hand so that I can even out the powder, or it's gonna like apply uneven. You wanna dab it into your face with force. I like to do that with my face because it's gonna set. And when you tap this in, you don't want to tap this in lightly because you want this to pack into your makeup. Do you guys see the difference with the powder? And let me even change the lighting. With the powder, without the powder. See the difference? It just gives you more of like a photo finish. It blurs everything out. You're not gonna get these results if you're tapping lightly. You have to tap with some pressure. This is how you're gonna get the best results. Then you're gonna do the same thing on all the other areas where you put concealer, but I go a little bit lighter with the setting powder on like my chin and here on my forehead. You're gonna wanna take a light and fluffy brush, preferably, but I can't find mine, so I'm gonna use this blend brush. And you're just gonna wanna kind of dust and blend out all the harsh lines. Go back in with contour. And don't forget to put some concealer on the tip of your nose and on your nose bridge. Guys, so I'm currently going in with another layer of setting powder. This is optional. The more setting powder you put is the more brighter your under eye is gonna look. You see how there's kind of a harsh line right there? We don't really want that. Blend that harsh line right there. And then for my nose, I'm just gonna use my finger. If you have a small brush, it will be more precise. Okay, so now my face looks a little bit white, so I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer on my cheekbones. Then we're gonna do my favorite step. Now, although this is my favorite step, this blush was far too expensive and it doesn't correlate to the performance. This is my MAC blush in the shade Dainty. It was $45. And when I tell you this is the least pigmented blush that I've ever had in my entire life, you have to pack on layers and layers of it just to get some pigment to show up. But to say the least, you're gonna want to use a blush brush, but I don't know where mine is, so I'm just gonna use this brush and I'm gonna pat it onto my cheekbone like this. I think the color of this blush is beautiful, but for $45 I should be able to dip into it lightly and put it on my face, and I already have like pigment that I need. It's just very sheer. I put it there, put it on my forehead, and I put it kind of on my chin. If your blush is more pigmented, you can decide how much blush it is that you would like to use. As for my eyebrows, so I can't actually find my brow pomade, but I would take a brush like this, dip it into my brow pomade, and just fill in any sparse areas on my eyebrow. Ooh, I actually have some product on here or something. But I would fill in any sparse areas on my eyebrow. You can put a tiny bit of concealer under your eyebrow like this. Give your eyebrow a cleaner look. Especially like if you haven't like got your eyebrows threaded or anything recently. This is gonna make it look cleaner. See how clean that looks? Naturally, you don't really have blush, right? So you don't want to overdo it with blush if you're really trying to look natural, you know what I mean? So now we're gonna move on to our lips. Now this is my favorite part, and I think this makes my makeup look just come together. I'm using a cotton swab. You're gonna wipe the makeup off your lips. I got this from Sephora retractable eyeliner in the shade Chocolate Brown. So it's actually an eyeliner, but I use it for a lip liner. And I lightly just line my lips. A little of this product specifically goes a long way, so I don't really have to press down hard. And then after I line my lips, I do this. And then I put on my lip gloss. This is the one that I use, the vanilla one. This is from Bath and Body Works. It's totally overpriced, but it tastes really good though. You can decide if you want to do a dewy setting spray for a super natural look, or if you want to just use like any regular setting spray, like the Born This Way All Nighter spray. I think that's the one that I'm gonna use. I would usually use this setting spray, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna use this one. This is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist by e.l.f. and this is gonna give you like a dewy look. You can decide if you want to have a dewy look or not, but I actually forgot one thing. Now this step that I'm about to do is optional because realistically, naturally, you don't have highlighter. Your nose is not shining. If we're really trying to stick to being natural, I wouldn't really necessarily apply highlighter, but it's for me because I like the way highlighter looks. This is the one that I use. It's the Fenty Beauty one, and this is the shade right here. I just dip into her lightly and I put her on the bridge of my nose like this, lightly. The lighter you apply this with your brush is the more pigmented it's gonna apply. You know, pro tip. Inner corner of my eye. So I'm gonna put on my setting spray now. So personally, with this specific makeup look, I don't really like to use a dewy setting spray. I would have much rather to use this one. It's just like, it's not mattifying or anything, it just is regular. That would have been way better. You can decide if you want to put on false lashes or not, but obviously putting on false lashes would not appeal to the theme of being natural. But if you have really short natural eyelashes, then you can put on some short lashes. I would recommend like lash clusters and like put the short ones on, maybe like just the ends of your eye. Mascara, this is the one that I use. I like to focus the mascara on the outer corner of my eye because I feel like it gives me like a cat eye effect. And then I lightly put it on the full thing. So just to add to it, I love doing bottom lashes. Be very careful not to poke yourself in the eye. And boom, period. We're done. If you guys followed this step by step, listen to all of my tips, especially setting your under eye, boom, makeup is done and my makeup is flawless. Look, I'm gonna go in a different lighting so that you guys could see. My makeup is done and my makeup is flawless and it looks so natural. So this is some different lighting. You guys can't tell me this isn't giving skin. I will continue to go into different lighting. Look at that. I will continue.
I could blame it on the physical. I could blame it on your lips, your touch, your kiss, you know, real traditional. But your love's too original.